I really felt the compassion of God tonight. I really felt it. I know Jacqueline said similar, a real sense of the Father heart of God, which also came through in the worship, of His holiness, and yet what a good dad He is. And I really, really felt an impact of that during the worship. I had quite a vivid picture. I think it's of someone specifically, but it might resonate with some of you as well. I saw someone half in the shadows, almost like in a corner, and they were lying in a pool of blood, and they were beaten, and they were bruised. They were just absolutely beaten down, and they were cowering in the corner, and they were hiding. They were afraid to come into the light. And I looked at them and my heart wept for them, and I asked Jesus, who could have done such a thing? Such cruelty and such hatred, such malice and such disdain. And He looked into my eyes, and the compassion that I saw there split my heart in two with the love and the pain that I saw there. He said they do this to themselves. Their self-loathing and their anger at their own weaknesses and failings causes them to turn on themselves. And I was really shocked how we wouldn't treat an animal like that, and yet we are so cruel with our own hearts and our own selves. And the heart of the Father and the heart of Jesus is weeping to reach out to you in your pain and your weakness, and to gather you to Himself. That you are much more cruel to yourself than He would ever be. You know, in my bad days, in my self-loathing days, and believe you me, I loathe myself. I have a scar on my pinky where I punched the mirror. And I'm only talking 2018 here, I'm not talking 20 years ago, where I hated what I'd become and who I saw there, and the weakness I saw there, and the trap that I'd found myself in, and punched my image in the mirror and burst it, and then I had to make up a lie to tell my family to cover even that. And I don't know who that's for tonight, but the heart of the Father, particularly of the heart of compassion of the Father, is here for you. And let Him love you, let Him enfold you, and take away that self-hatred and self-loathing, because it's not His heart towards you, and it is not His judgment towards you. His heart is merciful, merciful. Okay, so moving on. Lord Jesus, please heal my eyes, because I hate wearing glasses. I just really do, I really resent it. Okay, right. Lord. As an artist, it's very annoying as well. So, because I look down and I can see, and then I look up and it's... Tonight I want to talk to you about the kissing gate, and I want to take you on a wee journey. Do you want to come with me in a wee story and a wee journey that I wrote for you? So what I need you to do is I need you to close your eyes, and I want you to pretend that you're young again and you're being read. Not a bedtime story, I don't want to hear any snoring, okay? I'm going to read you a wee story. Close your eyes and let your imagination fire up. The kissing gate. Come with me on a journey across fields of open countryside amidst the flowers dancing in the gentle breeze. Feel the sun as it warms your heart and limbs. Breathe. Just breathe. Jesus goes on before you. Not too near, but not too far ahead that you feel the need to hasten your steps. On you both go. The landscape slowly changes. The hills ahead approach. You can hear the faint sound of gurgling, joyful water somewhere to your left. And to your right, a forest rises like a great hedge of protection. All is well. The field of tall green grass that you walk through begins to dip down into a valley. You feel the gentle slope under your feet. For a while, Jesus' figure is hidden from view, but you are not afraid, nor dismayed. He has never left you nor abandoned you. As you descend the slope, you lift up your eyes, and there he is, waiting for you. He stands at the kissing gate, a place of pause, a place of transition, where one field is left behind and another adventure awaits you. You approach him. Jesus stands between the gate, holding it closed, and you halt there, a little confused. Why does he block your way? Why doesn't he go on as before? Surely this is the way. Your future lies beyond your destiny. Jesus speaks. This, he says, is my kissing gate. When you enter through it, you will leave behind the season that you have walked in. You will pass through, and perhaps you will want to look back with regret, with longing, with pain, with sorrow, or even with pride. But I do not want you to look back. Perhaps you're wondering why I hold you here instead of holding open the way. Before you go on, before you pass through, and before you launch into the new season that I have prepared for you, you must first kiss the sun. Let us share this moment together. Let us weep together, laugh together, hold one another, and let thankfulness well up in our hearts. The old is gone and the new has come. The former things are passing away. Let them go. Embrace me and be released from regret, from shame, from fear, from doubt, for nothing of worth will be forgotten. All has been gathered like a harvest reaped. I have gathered it to me. Not one tear, not one triumph, not one trial or prayer or victory has been left to rot in the field. All has been gathered, all has been gleaned, weighed, stored and treasured. Even the moments of weakness, failure and doubt have great worth to me. For they were the fires that you passed through. They were the refining fires. Perhaps one day I will show you the treasures that you have earned, and when you see them, your heart will say, it was worth it all. But come now. I have spoken of what lies behind, and I have whispered of what lies before. Kiss the sun, and then I will let you enter the place between places, the holding place, the place of Salah. And you will find rest there, and strength and hope will flow through your very bones. And once more you shall kiss the sun. Then we will go on together, on into new things, new adventures and new trials and new triumphs. But first, my beloved, first you must come to the kissing gate and kiss the sun. In John 10:9, Jesus says, I am the gate. Anyone who goes through me will be cared for. will freely go in and out and find pasture. Now this kissing gate, how many of you know what a kissing gate is? Some of you will and some of you won't. So I'm going to show you a photograph of a kissing gate for those of you that don't know what it is, seeing as no one put their hands up. Okay.
I didn't know that's what it was called.
That's a kissing gate. It's called a kissing gate because the way they're designed, the wood of the gate gently kisses either side. But over time, it has become something more. It has become a place of wooing and a place of romance because men would take their maidens there and wouldn't allow them through till they gave them a wee kiss. And I've asked Keith and Kirsten and Stephen, we're going to be, well, they're going to be, I'm not going to be, a kissing gate to show you. Okay, so the three of you want to come up, please? I'm going to have to put this down for a wee minute, is that okay, Barbara? You know what a V looks like? Nora Jones, like hands like that. Hands like that, and this one's like that.
You could explain it.
You're going to stand in the middle. And hold these hands up. Alright. So this is like a kissing gate, okay? Alright. So will you come up for a moment? You come and you do keys.
Okay.
Alright. You keep in.
Stand over
Yes, you stand right here. Here you are. Your arm and stand it between. Okay. So the kissing gate works this way. Alright. It kisses here and it kisses there. Okay?
And if you're not careful, it can kiss everywhere.
So if you come here. So in the story that I read to you, if you imagine Keith being like Jesus, so you go through the first part of the gate and then close it to here. Now if I want to go on, I have to kiss my hubby. Oh no, nightmare.
Avert your eyes.
So then he goes on and I can go through, but then it closes this way and I'm in this holding place between and I have to get another wee kiss to come through. Thank you everybody, that's great. Thanks Millie. That was purely selfish so that I could get a wee snog. But you see how it works? I thought rather than just show you the picture, you did well. Considering we didn't rehearse it, I think you did well. But there's this beautiful place in the middle. And I say it is beautiful, but I tell you, see in our journey, we hear from the Lord and we're like, I know exactly what God said, I know where I'm going, I know the journey I'm supposed to be on, and then nothing seems to happen. The door's kind of open, but then nothing. And very often we get discouraged. That's the holding place, that's the place between places, where we want an encounter with God before we move on. There's no good reason for a gate like that, really. I don't know who first came up with it. It's actually to stop animals from going in and out the field. That's really what it's for. But why that instead of just a normal gate? You know, and there's something extravagant about this. There's something decadent about it. There's something unnecessary about it. Yet I believe that that is exactly the place that Jesus wants to take us. When he takes us on that journey, he wants it to be a place where we stop and we encounter him. A place of intimacy, a place of thought, a place of rest, a place where we consider what we're leaving behind, and then a place in between before we move into the new. I really feel that Father's heart is in it a lot. The kissing gate, I've had it as a picture before. I've drawn it for a couple of people before, and the last time we met together, he brought it to my mind again, and he said, "I want you to share it," so I'm sharing it. I really feel like it's almost like a light bulb's going to come on for a lot of people, and they're going to realise, oh, that's where I am. That's why the gate hasn't just swung open and I've just went skipping on into the new thing. You know, even today, even tonight, we're closing down the account for the Sounds of Scotland, which was the account we used to release the CDs. And I was very kind of flippantly talking to Stephen about it, blah, blah, blah. And see, during the worship, I felt this grief and sorrow and sadness. And I just felt the Lord saying, you're at the kissing gate. You're at the kissing gate. That gate might close, but it's so that you can move into the new thing. Pray and ask me what to do and how to sow into the new thing that I want to do. And it's never without a bit of pain and a bit of regret and a bit of sorrow. But that's okay. Just give that to Jesus. Just talk it over with him. Let me see. I love kissing gates. There's one, if you want to find one, there's one in the Dean Park in Kilmarnock. I don't know where else there's one, but it's funny because it's like a huge big wide path, almost as wide as this, and then at the side of it there's a kissing gate. So you can walk through the big wide path, or you could take a wee dander over to the side and have a wee moment with your man, you know. Have a wee, as long as, anyway. Gone red, can you feel it? Jesus wants to be intimately involved in your walk, right? He doesn't just want to walk on ahead of you. He wants to be intimately involved. He wants to be there at the poignant moments. He wants to be there with you.
Yeah.
Sort of going over the past and looking at it and leaving it behind and moving on and speaking of what's ahead. He wants to be intimately involved, and he creates these kissing gates for these reasons. He doesn't want it just to be, you know, you trundle along, you open the gate, you walk through it, and on you go. It's a place of poignancy. It's like a memorial. You know, it's like they would raise these memorial stones, these places of remembrance, these places of significance. And it's significant when God is moving you from one season to the next. It's important. It's a wake-up call. It's a place where you remember what really matters. That it's not so much about the journey, but it's about who you journey with. We can get caught up in it, can't we? You know, I think sometimes as Christians we can get caught up in ministry. You know, and go, God's called me to do this and God's called me to do that. And, you know, I know some people that are like that. You say, oh, how are you doing? And you don't hear how they're doing. You hear, well, the Lord's told me I'm doing such and such, and we've just opened this ministry, and we're just in your lip. But how are you? Well, you know, and the Lord, and you're like, Jesus wants to know how you are. You know, it's beyond the journey. It's about the relationship, and that's what Jesus cares about the most. Is that you remember who you're journeying with, not necessarily where you're going. See, when you get caught up in the kissing gate and who you're journeying with, do you really care where that's going? Do you really care what's in the next field? I don't think so. I think you're like, Jesus, can we just kind of go over that? I don't really understand that kissing gate. Do you think we could just do that again? You want to be with him, and he wants to be with you. and everything else takes second place. And you stop rushing ahead and worrying about what's ahead and worrying about the past. You just be. There's debate about what the word Selah means, but for me, the chief meaning of Selah is to pause. They reckon it was used for a musical term, so you would have a pause at the end of a psalm, and it would say Selah. And in music, that would be called a rest. Believe it or not, it would be a pause. It would be a rest between stanzas in a poem, between the next verse, the next line in music, or for the instruments. And it's a place of Selah. That bit in the middle, where the way behind is behind you and the way ahead isn't yet open, you're in that middle place, that place of thought and rest and contemplation. And it's really important. And we shouldn't try and skip over it and rush it, because it's really important. You with me?
Absolutely.
Cool beans. It's a place of just because, yet it's so important. It's a holy place, a secret place, because only one person can pass through at a time, and only one person can follow the other one through. Try it. Go to the Kissing Gate in the Dean Park and try and go through that gate more than just one at a time. You'll soon find you can't. It's almost like a turnstile. You can only really do one at a time. That's exactly the way Jesus wants it. One at a time. You and him leading and you following. You can try and lead if you like, but it doesn't work that way, because you'll go through and then go, I don't know where to go. And you'll be like, yeah, that's why you should have let me go first. He wants you. He wants intimacy with you. You are his desire. You are his. I've put, if you passed on through to the next season without first partaking in this place of communion, would your journey be richer? Would it? Without the pause, without the kiss, without the humility, without the reverence, without the intimacy, how much richer is your journey ahead after that place? You're walking with someone then. You're walking in unity and communion with someone. It just changes the dynamic completely. The memory of that meeting place and the priceless intimacy with your Lord, the sweet laying down of the old and taking up of the new, will stay with you through all the days ahead. His closeness will strengthen you through the tough times, and his kisses will remain to comfort you in the night. Delight yourself in the Lord. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. He will become the desire of your heart. So again, Jesus said, I am the gate. Anyone who goes through me will be cared for, will freely go in and out and find pasture. I just want to pray now. I just want to pray for you. If you really feel that message resonates in your heart, it's not a big, long message, but it doesn't need to be. It's that meeting place that's important. Way beyond the journey. Way beyond where he takes you and what you do. I used to think going lots of places and doing lots of things was what it was about. But that all means nothing nothing without that meeting place with him. So just close your eyes. I'm just going to pray for you. Jesus, thank you for your kissing gate. Thank you for that place of intimacy, that meeting place between you and I pray, Father, that as we wait there, that we would kiss you, that we would come before you and lay aside the past and lay aside the walk that we've walked with it, all its regrets and its triumphs and failings. We'd lay it all aside just to be intimate with you, Jesus. And we would let you guide us and lead us through that gate. That we would lay aside worry and stress and trying to figure it all out, and we'd stay in that meeting place in the middle, that resting place, that place of Selah. And then our hearts are ready to take on the new adventure. You'd move us on into the new field, into the new season. Thank you so much, Jesus. Thank you so much, Jesus. Thank you so much, Jesus. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to my wonderful stage team for their dubious talents. And if you want any prayer about that afterwards, I'd be delighted to pray for you, okay? Thank you, Barbara, for giving me some time. Thank you.